The right to strike is a fundamental right recognized in the Mexican Constitution and also in the secondary law. The right to strike, all employees have the right to strike, including pilots, first and second officer, the air crew, and also the ground crew. So anyone, if it's affiliated to a union, may strike in case to review their working conditions, or if there is a breach of the collective bargaining agreement, or just to support another strike. There are several main differences between Mexico and Europe. For example, in the aviation sector, it is considered a public service. So strikers must follow specific rules when they want to strike. For example, one of the main difference in as of or rather than other strikers in other industries are that strikers must call for the strike with at least 10 days of advance. As different in other industries that are not considered a service public, they only need to call for a strike with 6 days of advance. Another difference that we can find is that, for example, before they strike, they can enter into negotiation and they can only extend the strike date for one time, no more than 30 days. As opposed to other workers in other industry, they may extend the strike date for more than one occasion to continue enter negotiation and see if they can settle the difference.
What basically means to have the right to strike? It's the right of a group of individuals collectively has in order to fight for their rights. And basically what they do is they stop all activities. So let's say if there have been like a massive layoff, or like a group of workers from a particular industry, led by their corresponding union, they will stop all activities and services in order to fight and make demonstrations in order to fight for this right. Let's say the restatement of employees, or better working conditions, or salary increases, which with the high inflation that Argentina has right now, is one of the basic and main fights that the unions are currently leading. Essential services are specifically determined by a national law, so not any services can be classified as essential. And essential services would be, since we are speaking, we will be addressing the Air Force and their navigation industry. The Air Force and their navigation services industry is considered to be an essential services in our country. So this basically means that the group of workers that are within this union, if they want to fight for a particularly collective right, they just cannot go straight to go into a strike. They have to give a prior notice of 48 hours within a public media or communication, saying when they will start the measure and when they think this is going to finish, and assign a particular number of workers from their industry and their union that will be that they will have the duty to provide their services within this limited period of time. If they don't do so, then the Ministry of Labor will intervene and will establish the parameters of where the essential services will be provided. And if they don't respect the Ministry of Labor orders, they can be fined and sanctions, like, for example, loss of their wages. they can be disregarded by the unions and they could lose the union membership. And they can further be disciplined within the employer's duty or right to discipline employees in Argentina. So basically what you need to do within essential services is to give advance of the measure that you're going to take. It's important to highlight that if the essential services are stopped because of the right to strike, or any other industry stopped because of the exercise of the right to strike, usually the parties, mostly the companies or the union, they file for a special procedure called the mandatory conciliation procedure before the Ministry of Labor. So the Ministry of Labor intervenes at the request of the parties, and the parties are obliged to try to negotiate and reach an agreement. During this stage, which usually takes within 15 to 3 days to 3 weeks, it is not permitted for any of the parties, let's say the union or the employer, to take any direct measure. So strikes are stopped during the mandatory conciliation stage.